this is what we have to do. Is there a better way to leverage something? And I said, well, I know I've heard of this thing. It's called a content management system. And like, I had used Drupal in undergrad for a project. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that what you guys are doing, like writing HTML, I think this could like automate much of that. And so I got very interested in that just idea. And so I had nothing to do that weekend. And so that's what I did, is I largely got one of their courses to be a Drupal site in 48 hours with the template and everything. And I came back in and showed him on Monday, and he was like, so you're going to want a job here, right? Can we get you to just work on this?
We want you to have a job here.
Yes. So I made a system called ELMS. At the same time, I was doing my graduate research. My graduate research largely stemmed from seeing how I was able to get Drupal to spread at Penn State. And so we went from this place not being very friendly to Drupal and open source technologies to 8 years later, because it took me that long to publish my research, Drupal's being de facto. And part of the reason it took so long to publish my research is people started to realize what I was doing. So the research was actually social research, and it was around getting people to adopt a technology if I gave it to them for free.
Interesting.
And so
Interesting.
I went around and gave people these free systems, or very cheap systems, so that we could form a community, because I didn't have anyone to talk to around this technology. And so the research followed how I was able to distribute this technology to form community so that we could have a more sustainable development base, as opposed to everybody individually handwriting HTML.
That sounds, and forgive me if I'm off base, but that sounds like making your own GitHub. Like you were trying to create a community of folks who were building content or elements of this system that then you would all get to use, share, refine, improve. Am I off base?
Generally speaking, yeah. So like I have, I think, over 100 module contributions to Drupal.
Wow.
As a result of those efforts. For the longest time, I was sort of known as like the Drupal in education guy. I'd go around and get other universities doing this because I wrote very openly about how I was able to get other groups to use Drupal so that we could collaborate on process and workflow and code distribution. So that was like BTO Pro 1.0. And then when my research finished and was published, and some people got not super happy with it, it's because it's written in the first and third person simultaneously. So you said you wanted to channel the Joker. So part of the research is that there's this character in the research that goes around and gets people to adopt this, knowing full well that if you give away a box of kittens, people now need to maintain kittens.
And your kitten is the system.
And your kitten is the system. Okay, I see it.
So,
This is getting very Joker-y for sure. I'm getting.
So,
I don't know whether to be concerned or like
Excited.
Just excited. Like I both respect and go, I'm so glad I wasn't part of that experiment. I'm just joking.
I mean, at the same time, we had an institution that hadn't really standardized on any content management system. There were several different solutions out there. And so like I kind of built up this like moniker that was a little bit more like, you're like a bit off. But it was for a positive social purpose. Like we formed a community where we could better sustain and support institution grade content management system sorts of projects. Okay. I mean, now there's hundreds of Drupal sites around here.